I think I'm about ready for a change. It's been 33 years now, as of January, that I will have lived in Alaska. For those that don't know, I actually do live in Alaska. I've got a couple videos talking about it on the other channel about my experiences of living here. There are a lot of pros to living in Alaska. There's a lot of cons to living in Alaska. But I have been here 33 years as of January. And if you're wondering why, it's because it's my spawn. This is where I sort of popped out my mom here in Alaska, and I have remained because it has been close to family, and some of my family had health conditions that I was worried about. So I decided to remain here. But as time has gone on, and as it's become more and more apparent that everyone's going to be okay, and as I get older, I start to experience what I think a lot of us feel in life, which is the wanting to try something different or more. You call it a midlife crisis if you really want to, but you have to understand, I've never really had the capability to even think about moving, but because of the job that I have slowly developed over the years, and because of the recent success that has been thrust upon us, where we are doing better than we used to, we got these cool YouTube plaques in the wall and stuff now, I've realized I actually have a very real opportunity to get out of Alaska and move somewhere else. And this is sort of where I suppose I would ask your guys' recommendations. Where are you from? What do you like about it there? On the live streams lately, I've been doing quite a bit of house hunting everywhere within the US. We even looked at like Puerto Rico and some random places, trying to find an idea of where to move and what kind of houses, would be possible with the budget we're working with. And really, it's not a ton, but it seems to me like there are some places which would be viable to actually move. But then you end up talking to the people that are from there, and they got their own pros and cons about it, And a lot of times people tell me that they actually want to move to Alaska and that they are surprised that I would want to move from Alaska. And that's where I try to explain to them, like, if you're an indoorsy person who only wants to go outside now and then when the weather's nice, Alaska's not really the place to be. You would think it would be the opposite. You would think, well, you're indoors all the time. You don't have to endure the weather. But when you do go out, it's this whole thing. It de-incentivizes you wanting to go out. So if I go outside, I know I'm going to have to clear off snow. In fact, I was trying to live stream the other day. All right, literally yesterday, I was trying to live stream, and we had a weather warning that we were going to get 2 to 4 feet of snow within the next 24 hours. And for hours, my power was down. The snowstorm literally took out the power for hours, and I was unable to live stream. I actually had to cancel my doctor appointment, trying to get to the doctor to follow up on the ear thing. So there are times when it can be very frustrating to live here. And I'm trying to get out of my cabin and experience more of the world. I'm trying, we got this backpack thing, right? We got this backpack thing, trying to show you guys more of Alaska, get outside more in days for the live streams. And I feel like every winter I get hammered back inside, like the snow shows up and it gets colder, and, I don't have really winter toys or anything to do with it. I mean, most people don't really. And there's not really like a lot to do or see in the winter. It's just a bunch of snow. But I'm realizing every time I go to one of these conventions like TwitchCon or something, when it's nice out, who would have guessed it actually feels good to be in the sun? And so I'm starting to get to a point after all these years of thinking about making a change, and I could use your guys' help. I mean, not financially or anything. I'm actually fine. You guys have done all that, but trying to decide where to move in particular. Advice is actually what I could use to help with. So if you guys don't mind today, I'm going to be live because I have this event I'm doing with my buddy Ghazi. We're going to chat about some games and play this new PoE event that's coming out. But if you have a recommendation on where you live and what you think about it, you don't have to dox yourself to me, but just, maybe like the state you're from, your pros and cons, I honestly would love to hear it, because I am legitimately, I'm just done. I'm just done with Alaska. I need to get out of here. I'll be honest. I need to get. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good for me to be here. I was at one point I was building this Sprinter van that I have since handed over to my mom and dad, who use it way more than I could ever use it. But I was building it with the idea of this concept of, let me go out and do some adventure. I'm trying to get out of the box, but YouTube can be really like not good for me where all I do is sit and live stream and sit in front of the camera, which is great. But I don't feel like outside of YouTube and live stream, like I'm really growing much in my life. Like I don't really find myself um, experiencing much else in life. And I think part of that is my fault. Like I need to get out there and actually do it. But I think part of it is the environment. And, like I've said, I live in a cabin kind of, not like super in the boonies, but a little bit. And enough so that I don't really find myself going outside really at all, to be honest. Everything gets delivered, I mean, everything from toilet paper to food and both ends of the cycle of life kind of get delivered, straight here. And, even the YouTube plaques, that I love so much, they show up on the wall, all this stuff, like pretty much everything just gets delivered here. And that's probably not so good for the long term of it. So I'm looking at other places. I'm probably going to pull up some houses today on the live stream and kind of like browse some of that stuff because I've been enjoying looking at these stuff lately. But honestly, I could really use your advice on where you're from, what you think about it, where you might recommend, what the climate's like. Just come by and tell your story during the live stream today. That's really about it. Or if you can't come by the live, leave a comment for me and let me know where you're from, why you like it. Well, give me a sales pitch, because I've got to get out. And like I've said this many times before, but I have got to get out of Alaska. Like I'm drowning here. And that's just kind of how I feel today. That's about it, really.